Why is it that so many of us know exactly what we should be doing, yet we still don't do it? We know we should go to the gym. We know we should work on that side business. We know we should study, practice, call that client, clean that house, save that money. We know it all, and yet, we wait. We tell ourselves, tomorrow. Next week. When I feel ready. And here's the harsh truth, waiting for motivation is the biggest trap in life. Because the truth is, you may never feel ready. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, the moment will never come. So here's my question to you, are you tired of waiting? Are you ready to finally force yourself to take action, even when you don't feel like it? Because by the end of this audiobook, you'll have a blueprint for action. Not just when you're motivated, not just when life is easy, but every single day. So lean in. Pay attention. And let's start building the mindset and the systems that will make procrastination a thing of the past. And hey, before we dive in, let me ask you, what's the one thing you've been avoiding the most? Write it in the comments. Put it out there. Because once you name it, it loses some of its power over you. Chapter 1. Action creates emotion, not the other way around. Here's the first myth we need to destroy. People believe they need to feel motivated before they act. But winners know the truth, action creates motivation. Not the other way around. Think about it. Have you ever dreaded going to the gym? You drag yourself there, barely moving. But after 5 minutes of exercise, your energy shifts. Suddenly, you feel better. You feel motivated. That didn't come first, it came after. The same goes for work. You don't want to write the report. You don't want to clean the kitchen. But once you start, the resistance fades. Action is the spark. Emotion is the fuel. Take Jessica in New York. She wanted to start a blog, but she procrastinated for years. One day, she forced herself to sit down and write just one paragraph. That paragraph turned into two. Two turned into a page. Within months, she had dozens of articles. Today, her blog reaches thousands. She didn't wait for motivation. She acted first, and motivation followed. Action step: next time you don't feel like doing something, shrink it down. Commit to 5 minutes. Just start. Because once you begin, momentum takes over. Chapter 2: The 5-second rule. There's a simple trick to force action, made famous by author Mel Robbins. It's called the 5-second rule. Here's how it works: the moment you feel the urge to act, to get out of bed, to speak up, to send the email, you count down 5-4-3-2-1, and then move. Why does it work? Because hesitation is the enemy. The longer you think, the more your brain talks you out of it. You'll start rationalizing, I'll do it later. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. But if you act within 5 seconds, you beat the brain at its own game. Look at Brian, a college student in London. He struggled with waking up on time. Every morning, he hit snooze for an hour. Then he tried the 5-second rule. The alarm rang, he counted down, and by 1 he was standing up. Within a week, his mornings transformed. He felt productive before 8 a.m. for the first time in years. Action step: practice this today. Anytime you feel resistance, count 5-4-3-2-1 and move. Train your brain to associate counting down with immediate action. Chapter 3: Identity over willpower. Here's another truth: willpower is weak. Identity is strong. If you rely only on willpower, you'll fail. Willpower is like a battery, it drains fast. But identity? Identity is who you are. And when your actions are tied to identity, you don't negotiate. Think of someone who says, "I'm trying to quit smoking." Compare that to someone who says, "I'm not a smoker." Same action, but a completely different identity. One is temporary. The other is permanent. So if you want to force action, stop telling yourself, "I should go to the gym." Start telling yourself, "I'm an athlete." Stop saying, "I should save money." Start saying, "I'm the kind of person who builds wealth." Identity makes action non-negotiable. Take Maria in Melbourne. She wanted to learn guitar but kept skipping practice. Then she reframed her identity, "I'm a guitarist." Suddenly, practice wasn't optional. It was part of who she was. 2 years later, she plays for a local band. Action step: write down one identity you want to adopt. Say it daily. Act like it's already true. The actions will follow. Chapter 4: Lowering the Activation Energy. Why is starting so hard? Because the activation energy, that initial push, feels overwhelming. Winners know how to lower it. They make starting so easy it's almost impossible to resist. Want to work out? Put your gym clothes by your bed. Want to eat healthy? Prep your meals ahead of time. Want to study? Put the book on your desk, open to the right page. The easier it is to start, the harder it is to avoid. Take Chris in Toronto. He wanted to run in the mornings but kept bailing. Then he slept in his workout clothes and placed his running shoes by the door. Suddenly, the barrier was gone. Within weeks, running became automatic. Action step: identify one habit you've been avoiding. Then ask, how can I make starting effortless? Remove every point of friction. Chapter 5: Accountability, the secret weapon. Let's be honest. Left to ourselves, most of us cut corners. That's why accountability is so powerful. When someone else knows your goal, quitting becomes harder. You don't want to look weak. You don't want to let them down. Look at Amanda in Sydney. She wanted to write a book but procrastinated for years. Then she joined a writers' group where she had to submit 1 chapter a month. That accountability forced her to write. Within a year, her book was finished. Or David in Chicago. He wanted to get in shape but kept skipping workouts. Then he hired a personal trainer. Knowing someone was waiting for him at the gym kept him consistent. Action step: share your goal with at least one person you trust. Better yet, find a group or partner chasing the same goal. Accountability turns intentions into results. Engagement break. Quick pause. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to taking action? Drop it in the comments. You'll be surprised how many people struggle with the exact same thing, and how much power you gain by admitting it. And hey, if this is hitting home, make sure you're subscribed. Because in just a moment, we're going even deeper into the mindset shifts that make action inevitable, even when everything in you wants to stop. Chapter 6: The Pain of Inaction. Sometimes, to force action, you need to face the pain of doing nothing. Here's the truth: every day you delay, the cost compounds. Wasted time adds up. Lost opportunities never come back. Picture this. You say, "I'll start next week." Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. Suddenly, 5 years are gone. Where will you be? Still stuck. Still waiting. Still regretting. Take Jason in Los Angeles. He always wanted to start investing. But he kept delaying. After 10 years, he calculated how much he would have had if he started when he first thought about it. The number shocked him: over $150,000 lost. That pain finally forced him to act. The pain of inaction is often greater than the pain of action. Action step: write down the cost of waiting. What will you lose if you don't act now? Health? Money? Confidence? Freedom? Let that pain push you forward. Transition: what's next? So far, we've uncovered the foundations of forcing yourself to act. Acting before you feel motivated. Using the 5-second rule. Shaping identity. Lowering activation energy. Building accountability. Facing the pain of inaction. But we're just getting started. Because in the next section, I'll show you the advanced strategies: how to rewire your brain for daily action, how to break through the resistance that keeps you stuck, and how to create unstoppable momentum. Keep listening, because the next few chapters will give you the exact tools to crush procrastination for good. Chapter 7: Rewiring your brain for action. Here's something powerful: procrastination isn't laziness, it's wiring. Your brain has been trained to avoid discomfort. That's why you scroll instead of working. That's why you clean the desk instead of starting the project. But here's the good news: just like a muscle, your brain can be trained. Every time you push through resistance, you build mental strength. You're teaching your brain, this is what we do. Over time, action becomes easier, even automatic. Think about brushing your teeth. At some point, it was a chore. But now, it's just who you are. You don't debate it. You don't resist it. It's automatic. You can make action the same way. Take Linda in Chicago. She hated making sales calls. The anxiety was overwhelming. But she forced herself to make just 3 calls a day, no more, no less. At first, it was torture. But after 3 months, it became routine. Today, she runs her own agency and teaches others how to sell. Action step: pick one small uncomfortable task and do it daily. Rewire your brain by showing it that resistance is not danger, it's growth. Chapter 8: The 2 selves. Inside you, there are 2 selves. The first self wants comfort. It wants Netflix, snacks, and scrolling. This self craves instant gratification. The second self wants progress. It wants freedom, wealth, health, and fulfillment. This self craves long-term rewards. The battle of your life is between these 2 selves. And every decision is a vote. Every time you procrastinate, you're casting a vote for the comfort self. Every time you take action, you're casting a vote for the progress self. Which self will you strengthen? Take Ben in Sydney. Every night after work, he had 2 choices: TV or studying for his IT certification. At first, TV won. But he started reminding himself, every night I study is a vote for the life I want. Over 6 months, he built a habit of studying 90 minutes daily. Today, he works in a new career with double the salary. Action step: next time you feel resistance, pause and ask, which self am I voting for right now? Let that question guide your choice. Chapter 9: The Environment Trigger. Here's a secret: you don't rise above your environment. You fall to its level. If your surroundings encourage procrastination, you'll procrastinate. If your surroundings encourage action, you'll act. Think about it. If your desk is cluttered with distractions, how can you focus? If your phone buzzes with notifications, how can you stay consistent? Take Anna in London. She wanted to start writing, but every time she sat at her desk, she was distracted by her phone, snacks, and random tabs. She made one change: she cleared her desk and left only her notebook and laptop. Suddenly, focus became natural. Or Michael in Toronto. He wanted to go to the gym but kept skipping. Then he moved closer to a gym, 5 minutes away instead of 25. The change in environment made action automatic. Action step: audit your environment. Remove one trigger for procrastination and add one trigger for action. For example, put your phone in another room and put your running shoes by the door. Chapter 10: Chunking the Mountain. Sometimes we avoid action because the task feels overwhelming. It looks like a mountain. And staring at a mountain makes us freeze. Winners don't climb the mountain in one leap. They break it down into chunks. Want to write a book? Don't focus on 300 pages. Focus on 1 page today. Want to lose 50 pounds? Don't focus on the final goal. Focus on the first workout. Take Olivia in New York. She wanted to pay off $40,000 in debt. At first, the number paralyzed her. Then she broke it into chunks, $500 at a time. Each payment became a win. Over 3 years, she was debt-free. The mountain is always climbed 1 step at a time. Action step: take your biggest goal and break it into the smallest possible step. Then commit to finishing that step today. Chapter 11: Harnessing the Power of Deadlines. Procrastination thrives in open space. If you have unlimited time, you'll take unlimited time. That's why deadlines are powerful. They force urgency. They eliminate the option of someday. Look at students. Most cram the night before the exam. Not because they suddenly cared, but because the deadline forced action. You can use this to your advantage. Take Daniel in Melbourne. He wanted to launch his podcast but kept delaying. Then he announced publicly that his first episode would go live in 30 days. That external deadline created urgency. He had no choice but to act. And he did. Action step: set a hard deadline for one of your goals. Tell someone about it. Write it on your calendar. Let the pressure push you. Chapter 12: The Pain versus Pleasure Hack. Every decision we make comes down to 2 forces, pain and pleasure. We avoid pain, and we chase pleasure. The trick is to flip the script. Link massive pain to procrastination. Link massive pleasure to action. For example, if you procrastinate on exercise, imagine the pain of sickness, low energy, or regret. If you take action, imagine the pleasure of strength, confidence, and freedom. Take Sarah in Los Angeles. She hated going to the gym. But she reframed it: every skipped workout meant more pain in the future, bad health, less confidence. Every workout meant more pleasure, a stronger body, more energy. That mental shift transformed her routine. Action step: write 2 lists. One of the pain you'll feel if you keep procrastinating. One of the pleasure you'll feel if you take action. Read them every morning. Chapter 13: Using Public Commitment. Want to guarantee action? Make it public. When you tell the world your plan, the pressure multiplies. Suddenly, your reputation is on the line. And most of us will work harder to avoid embarrassment than to chase success. Take Jack in London. He wanted to run a marathon. He kept delaying his training. Then he announced on social media, "I'll run the New York Marathon in 6 months." Once hundreds of people knew, quitting wasn't an option. He trained daily and finished the race. Action step: share one of your goals publicly, online, with friends, or in a group. Use the power of social pressure to force consistency. Chapter 14. Creating an action ritual. Sometimes the hardest part is just starting. That's where rituals come in. Winners use rituals to signal their brain, it's time to act. A ritual could be as simple as making coffee before you write, putting on music before you work out, or sitting at the same desk to study. Over time, your brain links the ritual with the action. Take Emma in Berlin. She struggled with procrastination on her artwork. Then she created a ritual: light a candle, play instrumental music, and pick up her brush. Within minutes, she was painting. Action step: design a ritual for one habit. Use it daily until the ritual automatically pulls you into action. Engagement break, midway motivation. Pause for a moment and reflect, what's the one strategy so far that you know you need to apply? Write it in the comments. Not tomorrow. Not later. Right now. Declare it. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Because in the final section, we'll dive into the ultimate strategies, the mindset of unstoppable action, the power of momentum, and the closing challenge that will light a fire under you. Stay with me, the most powerful part is still ahead. Chapter 15. The Momentum Multiplier. Here's the thing about action, it multiplies. One action leads to another. One win creates the confidence for the next. And before you know it, momentum takes over. Think of a train. At rest, it takes enormous energy to move. But once it's rolling, it smashes through obstacles that would have stopped it cold. That's momentum. Take Claire in San Francisco. She wanted to start a YouTube channel but kept stalling. Finally, she recorded one short video. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't polished. But once it was live, she felt unstoppable. That one video turned into 10. 10 turned into 100. Today, she has a thriving channel. Action step: forget about doing everything. Focus on doing one thing today. Use it as a lever to create momentum. Action is contagious. Chapter 16. Embracing imperfect action. Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. We tell ourselves we're not ready yet. We say, I'll start when it's perfect. But here's the truth, perfect never comes. Winners don't wait for perfect. They launch messy. They learn on the go. Look at Spotify. When it launched, it wasn't flawless. It had bugs. It had gaps. But it improved through action. Same with Instagram, YouTube, even the iPhone. Progress beats perfection every time. Take Martin in Melbourne. He dreamed of writing a novel. For years, he procrastinated because he wanted the perfect plot. Finally, he forced himself to write a messy first draft. That draft became a manuscript. That manuscript became a published book. Action step: give yourself permission to be imperfect. Create badly. Write badly. Act badly. Because imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. Chapter 17. Rewarding action, not just results. Here's a mistake people make: they only reward results. But if you want to force daily action, you need to reward effort. Think of training a dog. You don't wait until it's perfectly trained. You reward small steps. That's how behavior sticks. Do the same with yourself. Take Sarah in Toronto. She struggled to study for her exams. So she set a system: 30 minutes of study earned her a small reward, a coffee, a walk, a favorite song. The reward made the action sticky. She passed her exams with ease. Action step: Create micro rewards for action. Celebrate showing up, not just finishing. Over time, your brain will crave the action itself. Chapter 18: The Future Self Technique. Want to force action? Start thinking of your future self. Picture yourself 5 years from now. If you keep procrastinating, what will life look like? If you act daily, what will life look like instead? The gap is enormous. And every choice today widens or shrinks it. Take James in London. He hated saving money. But he imagined his future self at 40, broke, stressed, and full of regret. That image scared him into action. He started saving small amounts daily. 10 years later, his future self is thriving. Action step: write a letter from your future self to your present self. Describe the life you want and thank yourself for taking action today. Let that vision pull you forward. Chapter 19: The Do It Now Mantra. Here's a simple but powerful tool, the Do It Now mantra. Whenever you feel resistance, repeat, do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Say it out loud if you have to. It interrupts procrastination and forces movement. Take Emily in New York. She used this mantra to break her habit of ignoring small tasks. Instead of piling up emails, she whispered, "Do it now." Her inbox went from chaos to control. It sounds simple, but it works. Action step: for 1 week, use the mantra whenever you catch yourself hesitating. Let "do it now" become your automatic response. Chapter 20: The One More Rule. Here's another hack, the one more rule. When you're about to quit, do one more. One more rep at the gym. One more page in the book. One more phone call. This rule builds mental toughness. It teaches you to act even when you want to stop. Take Daniel in Sydney. He hated cold calling. Every day, he set a goal of 20 calls. But when he wanted to quit, he forced one more. Over time, that one more added hundreds of calls and dozens of clients. Action step: apply the one more rule this week. Whenever you're ready to stop, push once more. Small extra actions separate winners from quitters. Link pain to procrastination and pleasure to action. Create rituals. Multiply momentum. Reward action. Think of your future self. Use "do it now." Apply the one more. Commit to no 0 days. Act with urgency. Now here's your challenge: don't just listen, act. Before this day ends, take one action you've been avoiding. Just one. Let that be the first domino. Because one domino leads to another. One win creates momentum. And momentum creates transformation. 5 years from now, you'll look back at this moment. And you'll either say, "That's when I kept procrastinating," or "That's when I changed everything." Which story will you tell? The choice is yours. Stop waiting. Stop planning. Stop dreaming. Force yourself to act. Today. Now. And if this hit you, subscribe, because this is just the beginning. We're building a community of action takers, and your future self will thank you for joining us.